All right, you guys, I'm doing this video because of all the stuff that's happening, all kinds of crazy stuff that's happening around the world with oligarchy, the internet, AI. We're coming to a head of just basically chaos. And you got your tech bros out there telling everybody that violence is coming, with that well-protected, confident attitude. And it's not exactly wrong, although the people that are saying that are the people that are causing it. I don't want to make this video too harsh, but there's a few things I would definitely say to those people. Stand right here and say that. So I did another video about how it's likely to go down with robotics. AI is it's taking over white collar jobs, absolutely. But, it's not as crazy effective as people want you to think. I work with it all the time for a lot of different tasks, including coding. It's, you have to build some of your own back end in order for it to have the right contextual cues, and it's forgetful, and it's got a long ways to go. But AI training of robotics has always been the more fundamental threat to the kind of shoddy market system. Our market systems have done well, to the best that we can do. I mean, everything that we have in rich countries is provided to us by competition. It has done well to a point. It really has. And even the things that we enjoy with medical advancements have been brought to us through competition. But competition doesn't cover everything. So in the end, need is secondary because human need as a universality is secondary. It just so happens that selfish people need the same things as other people. So we indirectly in the masses happen to be better off than if we were just out there facing nature without any of rich guy competition. In some ways, things quote unquote trickle down, but it's not enough. And it's not enough for the rest of the world. And I stand from a privileged point of view in a rich country. And I'm not even one of the rich ones in the rich country. But I recognize that just being born here was a stroke of luck for me. And so when I think about these things, I think about it as if I don't want to do to the rest of the world what is being done to me by the oligarch tech bro class right now. And so the other video I went through, it really talks about, let's just take Amazon as a company. Amazon's going to start using robotics more and more as robotics companies are able to lease robots to their company at the same rate that a human would get paid. That's the point at which Amazon will do that. And then they'll work it out to where it actually becomes more beneficial. And then as soon as it either the cost becomes lower or the functionality becomes more, like they can work more hours and there's less regulation, obviously that's when they're going to start fighting back. Well, if you don't cut, workers protections, then I'm just going to hire all robots. They'll start threatening us with replacing people with robots because probably at that point humans will still be the better option, but they'll still want to save money on that. The majority of the cost for large companies is labor. Well, when people don't have money from working for these companies anymore, they're not going to be able to buy the product. So no individual corporation's really going to give a crap about that until it affects their bottom line as an individual organization. So what will happen first of all, and also they're not going to allow any kind of talk about a negative tax or UBI during this process. It's just going to be silly talk or that there's not really any problem until there is a problem. And then and we're all as individuals going to have to suffer this long term, right? It's going to take many years. They're all sitting in their ivory towers. They don't care how much suffering there is on the ground. So this whole time, all these arguments are going, all the people are being totally crushed. The governments will be effectively just knocked out of the picture as far as power goes. People will start running out of money. The larger corporations won't care. And that's when the smaller corporations and the smaller companies will just start getting destroyed from the bottom up. And then we've got these top companies shifting the workforce to robotics, and they are deciding how much to put into these negative taxes and these UBIs. So a negative tax is basically just what social safety nets are today. The people that need it get it, and it's there might not be any means testing. Means testing actually costs to do. So sometimes it's not cost effective to do means testing. They'll just look at a couple factors and let you have your negative tax. UBI in a lot of ways doesn't make sense because you'd also be giving it to the people that don't need it. So I would expect that a negative tax is more reasonable than a UBI. And worldwide, okay, everybody, this has to be a worldwide effort. If robots are going to be shipped all over the world, at least to these companies, these robotics companies are going to become huge too. And we have to address income inequality and negative tax all around the world. And we already see kind of xenophobic protectionist measures being taken, right? That's not really going to be the right way to go. You have to think that this is going to be the first step of oligarchs. They're going to do this while they all sit there as kings. They're going to control the income gap almost like just a dial, right? They'll get it in such a way that they'll just tune it up or down. Oh, there's a little unrest. Let's just tune that up a little. Just maintaining. And the people on the ground are never going to even have the power in numbers once the oligarchs get the military forces in place that they need. Because you might think, oh, well, they've only got 150,000 troops that are like really loyal to them. That's not enough to control 300 million people. But the reality is those 150,000 people will have people under them that will do like less harsh jobs. In other words, they're not going to do the killings and the torturing and stuff like that. They're just going to do the like kind of rough administrative work, and there's going to be a lot more. So if you got 150,000 of the real assholes, you're going to have like 1 million of the other ones that are like not so bad, that don't totally agree, and then it's going to be like a pyramid. So it only takes that initial 150,000 to get the pyramid started, and then eventually there won't be any physical way to take it back. And so I honestly think this is the determinism of the internet. This is the determinism of technology and suppression, and eventually people are going to stop having kids, and that's probably what they want, because in their future it's just a future of robots building the things that they need, them living in their mansions with their pools and everything, having robots serve them, and that's it. And once all the rest of us, the trash of the earth, do we really need 8 billion people? The whole planet can be theirs in 100 years, right? I mean, I personally am going to be dead in 15, 20 years, so it's not going to affect me, and it's probably not going to be totally like Elysium until the movie Elysium, until my son is dead. But you guys, the only way that we can combat this is if we somehow get more power to democracy. My suggestion is, and I'm building a website over at civilsimian.com, and it's supposed to be like a mechanized democracy, but it's not really the mechanization of the democracy that's going to matter as much as it is an enforceable constitution that includes details about how to prevent internet-based oligarch tech bro control. And I know you guys all understand the secret is to make sure that these people don't have so much money under their control. And how are you going to claw it back right now when they've already got it? So anyway, if you guys like this kind of subject matter, help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Most of the videos here are philosophy, but I'm going to be moving on into current issues with these videos.